This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. What am I riding today? This is the Magicycle CT1 commuter bike. Yeah, the CT1. Remember the bike that could never get more than 85% on the battery? Yeah, well, that got figured out. One of our subscribers had told me, hey Russ, I think the problem is that your battery, being a 48 volt battery, most Magicycle bikes are 52 volts. So being that it's 48 volts, I think your controller thinks it's a 52 volt battery. Check your display screen. Sure enough, it was shipped out saying that it should be 52 volts. It's not. It's a 48 volt battery on these models. Now he mentioned that he's a Magicycle dealer and that all of his CT1s that he got were all set up for 52 volts as well. I think what happened at the factory is they're so used to putting it at 52, they forgot the fact that they made this bike a 48. That could do it. That could mess you all up. We're gonna have to wait here. I hear the thing beeping, so we'll see if it kicks in for me or not. There's no cars around. Nothing to trigger the light. Oh, here's a car coming up behind me. Maybe he'll trigger it. So anyway, I went into the advanced functions of the bike and set it up for 48 volts. And sure enough, now I hit a thing that says 100%. How do you like that? So it wasn't metering it right. Yep. So if you have a Magicycle CT1 or plan to buy a Magicycle CT1, check that out. See if yours is also set up incorrectly for 52 instead of 48. Change it to 48. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, if you have any problems doing that, let me know. I'll try to see if I can find the instructions how to do it. I think you had to hold the plus button and the power switch or something like that at the same time to get into that particular function. It's not your typical plus and minus button only to get into that portion of the advanced setting. All right, so I have some serious things to talk to you guys about today. Yeah. Recently in our area in Illinois, okay, northern suburbs, northwest suburbs, all that stuff, some regulations have come down on e-bikes. Yep, I mentioned it on another video, but I'm gonna go more in depth today. I was gonna read it to you guys, but I'm on the bike, so I don't have the ability to read anything at this point. I'm just gonna basically summarize it for you. Essentially, Elk Grove Village in Illinois had said that you cannot ride your e-bike on certain busier roads like Arlington Heights Road. Okay, I understand why they're trying to do this. I don't agree with limiting certain streets like that, but I'm not a big fan of riding on Arlington Heights Road either, but I have done it. Sometimes you need to go through that road to get to other areas, right? Technically speaking, if you ride your bike on Arlington Heights Road and you happen to be in Elk Grove Village, yeah, you're in violation of the law. Yeah, they could ticket you. That's not good. That's not good at all. Here, let's turn here. I'm just gonna ride the streets today here. I'm not gonna go too far. So, so that's one thing. Then another ruling came down. Then we're talking 2025. We're talking summer 2025 rulings. Okay, Glen View, Illinois. This is where my church is. Okay, Glen View, Illinois. Yeah, totally banned e-bikes and scooters. Totally banned e-bikes and scooters, meaning you cannot ride any e-bike or scooter on any public area, meaning no streets, no sidewalks, no parking lots, nothing. Yeah, it's literally on their village webpage. Yeah, no e-bikes, no scooters, no electric scooters, that is. I guess if you have a manual scooter, I guess you can still do it. Well, what about the guys that own e-bikes that live in Glen View? They're all out of luck. I don't agree with this one at all. Now, here's the scary part about it. Palatine, okay, has banned scooters. Yeah, can't ride any scooters in Palatine. Well, hey, if they do this to e-bikes, they've basically shut down the Russ's Right channel. Yeah. Yeah, if e-bikes gets banned in Palatine, I won't be able to ride my bike anywhere. I would have to literally take my bike, put it on a bike rack, drive it to some city that allows me to ride, and then ride there. That's nuts. What about guys like Sam Cycle? They sell e-bikes in Palatine. So what's going to happen to their business? They're going to shut them down. That's what would happen. I mean, if you lived in that town and he sells you a bike and he has to tell you that, hey, don't ride it in this city. Well, what happens then, you know? I don't think these legislators have really thought this thing through. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to limit wild riding, really. Okay, I agree. You know, sometimes kids can ride a little bit dangerously, but you know, when you shut down the entire thing for everybody that owns an e-bike and everybody who owns a scooter, even though legitimately they're riding legally, properly, I should say, I don't think that's right. I'm gonna have to go visit Sam Cycle and talk to them, see what they think about this whole thing. Because Glenview's not that far from this general area, a couple towns over. So once one starts, the others start following, right? That's usually what happens. We can't let that happen. Now, it's not just our general area. Other areas have done the same thing where they've outlawed e-bikes altogether. Hey, you know, there's people who use e-bikes to get to work. So now, what have you done? You've basically told them, hey, you can't ride your bike to get to work. Ride a regular bike. Well, sometimes people can't ride a regular bike. Sometimes it's too far. It would take them forever. They'd sweat up like crazy before they even got to work. Or guys like me who have a weakened leg and a bad knee and bad hips, I can't ride a regular bike. I can't walk it. Okay, you could drive. Well, isn't that kind of defeating the whole purpose of micromobility? All right, it's time for you guys to kind of put some comments on this one. This one's a serious issue now. I mean, we're getting to the point where it's starting to hit home. Yep. I mean, we've heard about California and all the legislations that's happening with them. Okay. You might not live in California, so you don't think much about it. But look, it's starting to filter down to your own areas, right? If they do it in Illinois, where else are they going to do it? They're going to do it in other areas, right? Now, these are local ordinances. This is not the whole state saying that you can't ride your bike. Because if you look at the state laws, it says e-bikes are allowed. You just have to keep it within a certain class of e-bike, right? Class 2. Class 3 is technically not allowed either. Class 3 is really only allowed on private roads. Who has a private road? I don't. Do I ride in Class 3? Yeah, all the time. So here's what I'm going to say, all right? Now, you may or may not agree. If you're going to have to regulate us somehow, if you're going to say, okay, you got an option, you either comply or we actually shut down the entire program, nobody rides an e-bike. If that was the option, then all right, put down the speed regulation for me, all right? Put a speed regulation. If you say, okay, you can ride your e-bikes, but you can't ride it past 20 miles an hour, I'll comply with 20 miles an hour. I'd rather comply with the 20 miles an hour than lose my entire e-bikes. You see what I'm saying? Here's one more thing I'm going to say, and it could be controversial. Now, people said that, you know, the kids should not be riding e-bikes. I tend to agree with that. All right, I tend to agree with that. Little kids should not be having e-bikes. So what age? I'm not even going to put it at an age. I'm going to say this: if you're going to let kids ride an e-bike, make sure they understand the rules of the road. Put them through a class. You know, the thing is if you're a car driver, you got to go through the rules of the road before you get a driver's license, right? I don't even really want them to say, well, you're going to have to get a license or you're going to have to register your bike somehow. You know, I don't even want that. What I really just want is make it a requirement that all kids, I'm assuming adults already have a license, a driver's license. All kids or anyone who has not gone through driver's ed has to go through a driver's ed type class that teaches the rules of the road. Now, I think if you force that upon kids and they have to carry maybe a card or something, I don't know, you know, to prove that they have learned the proper rules of the road, you know, put that on them. And then let them ride it if you want. Okay, now if you want to ban it altogether for kids, I would be okay with that too. Just don't ban it to the adults. Come on. Adults know better. They should know better. They should do better, okay? If you're going to limit my speed to 20, if you're going to limit my class to class 2, I can live with that more than I can live with you can ban my entire e-bike. Right? Guys like Glen View, Illinois, don't ban the whole e-bike. Put a limitation if you have to, but don't ban it. How many people in Glen View own e-bikes? Come on, 1 or 2? No, a lot. There's got to be a lot of people who own e-bikes in Glen View. You just basically shut them all down. What about the shops that sell e-bikes? You shut them all down too. I mean, that's really too much, I think. I mean, the state hasn't banned us. And what about guys like me might be riding through your city? I don't know your ordinance, let's say, right? I don't live there. I don't know your ordinance. So all of a sudden now I get a ticket for riding through your city. I mean, if I need to go through your city to get to another city because I'm going a distance, and then I get a ticket for the fact that I rode through your city, how is that fair? I just don't believe what's going on. It's just unbelievable. So what's going to happen to the Russ is Right channel if they shut down my area? Well, I've got only one other option if I want to keep this channel going. I literally have to put the bike on the back of my car and drive it somewhere so I can ride it. That's really just not convenient. I can't do it anyway. I mean, a lot of times, as you know, I ride during the daytime on weekdays. You know, that's not my car. That's Mrs. Wright's car that we have the bike hitch on. Every time I have to put my bike on the back of the car, I have to ask her to take her car. She prefers to drive the SUV, not the standard sedan that I have. But that changes everything then, right? I don't know. Time for your comments this time. I know many of you may not have commented it before, but now I'm going to ask for your comments today. Please put a comment. What's your thoughts on all this? What do you think is the best way for us to handle this? Because eventually we're all going to end up having to fight this thing. And if you own an e-bike or thinking of getting an e-bike, we're going to have to fight this thing. We cannot let them just simply ban us and shut us all down like this. I mean, they're going to regulate us. I already know that. They're going to regulate us. So either make us get licensing for it, which will force us to have to get insurance for our bikes and everything. You know, I mean, it's not good. It's not good. The thing is, people always mention too that, you know, they're doing this for the safety of everybody. Well, okay, I understand what they're trying to do, but have these guys ever ridden an e-bike? You know, I don't think so. If they did, they wouldn't be banning it. I think what they need to do is they need to hear from more of us, really, and let them know why we buy an e-bike. Okay, some of us buy it for fun. Yeah, I do. I like it. It's for fun. Some of us do it for a business. Technically, the YouTube channel is technically a business if you think of it that way, because I do get paid for my reviews and things like that. All right, they give me a bike. Some of us ride it for work, to get to work back and forth. You're affecting everybody at this point. I mean, really, if you think about it, an e-bike is a bicycle, just with help. So you go, well, people aren't riding it like a bicycle, they're riding it like a motorcycle. Okay, then limit its speed. Force it to 20 miles an hour. I mean, I don't like it, but I'd rather take that than you shutting me down altogether, right? I like this bike, okay? This bike does 20 miles per hour when you throttle it, right? It's not as fast as I would like it to go, but I can live with it. By the way, the battery still says 100%. Yeah, the whole issue had been really that 52 volt versus 48 volt thing. Yeah, they just programmed these things wrong. I think people have told Magicycle about this too. I don't know if they're fixing it for all future CT1s, but this is one of the first CT1s off the line. They usually send it to me right away. So I don't know. It might be set up properly now. I don't know. I hope they're making those adjustments. Man, always every single bike is off. If yours is off and you can't seem to get 100% on your battery, yeah, you got the issue. Yeah, it's a simple fix, but you got to fix it. That's the problem. All right, anyways, that's about enough grief for today. It really riles me up when I think about it. I'm really fearful what's going to happen to my channel if that regulation comes down. If I get a chance and I happen to see some of our local police officers, I'll talk to them about it too, see what they have to say about this thing. Here's the interesting thing. Every time I see a cop, I tend to go up to them and talk to them. I do. I did it when I was on my trip. Yeah, I was talking to every cop I saw. Cops will talk to you. Now, I had some people say, well, cops aren't my friend. Well, why is that? They should be your friend. Well, okay, in my case, it's a little different. I usually start out by introducing myself and telling them I used to be former PD, former police department personnel. I was an evidence tech, but we still have the same common goals. They loosen up the minute they hear that I was former law enforcement. All right, so they usually will talk to me. They usually have no problems talking to me. Many of them will shake my hand before I leave too. But maybe the common guy. The common guy doesn't want to talk to a cop. Hey, they don't know I'm law enforcement, previous law enforcement, until I tell them. They never asked me for a proof. Of course, the way I talk to them, they kind of know that I used to work in law enforcement. We know certain things, I can relate to what they're telling me. Yeah, I want to ask them too. I want to find out what their thoughts are. I mean, what do you guys think about this thing? It's not that they can do anything about it either. It's all the legislators that come up with these laws. And these guys are guys that probably have never ridden an e-bike, probably haven't even been on a bike in a long time. They don't see the value in it. So they come down with a law. It's terrible. They got to do better. All right, that's about all I have for you guys for today. I just wanted to bring it up and get your thoughts on it and get you thinking about it. Let me know in the comments. Make a comment this time, please. Let me know. What do you think we should do? If push comes to shove, what should we do? Let them regulate the speed? Have them make us get licensing for this, which I really don't want to do. And get insurance for this? I don't want to do that either. Insurance I'll be paying for all these bikes, forget it. All right, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't hit the dislike button, okay? Sometimes people hit the dislike button because they don't like what's going down, and then they hit the dislike. The dislike basically means you don't like the video, not that you don't like the topic, okay? If you don't like the topic, you know, you can still hit the like button. Just put a comment, tell me that, you know, you don't like what's going on. That's what we want to know. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.